Good morning to everyone who may be watching, and welcome to SACS's first ever COVID-19 on the couch. We're sat here this morning on the beautiful Memorial A field with the stunning backdrop of Table Mountain, and we just wanted to remind all of you that despite being in the midst of a global pandemic, we are so incredibly lucky to be at a school like SACS. We have decided to create this sort of assembly talk show just to connect with all of you again and to catch up with some of the men who've been back at school to get their views and opinions of this new way of life. Well, if you've ever wished of coming to school in civvies, there's never going to be a better time in history to do so. With casual clothes and long hair, like Chris's horrible haircut. It's not been our traditional SACS attire, but hey, these are some strange circumstances that we find ourselves in. It has, however, been absolutely awesome to see everyone again, even if it's basically just been their eyes. Who would have thought that we'd be sitting in one of the most prestigious schools in the entire world, in civvies, with hair long enough to put into ponytails? But school life goes on, and that means so does our awesome Interact society. So Chris, would you mind just touching on, what are some of the things our society has managed to accomplish so far this year? I know our 67 Kids to School initiative was extremely successful, and we managed to raise a lot of money. And just to kind of touch on what are some of the ongoing projects and what is kind of in store for the rest of the year.
Yeah, thanks Nate. It's been a difficult year for many South Africans, and it was important, especially going into lockdown, for our outreach society to keep that in mind, that a lot of help was needed out there. And normally in June we would have attended Zanawonga, an important part of our outreach program in the rural Eastern Cape, to do outreach work there. Obviously, due to the coronavirus, we couldn't go. So thanks to some hard work and by a lot of people, and especially Mr. Wepner, we were able to get together personal protective equipment for a lot of the students, for all of the students in fact, and we were able to send supplies over, hand sanitizer, 200 masks, and we were able to do some repair work with the doors and roofs. So we're very happy about that, and thank you to everyone that fundraised and put work into that. We really appreciate it, and I'm sure the students of Zanawonga do as well. And we knew that with the coronavirus we would have to reassess and adjust our budget, and we were able to, and we're very happy and proud about this, feed 30 families using some of our funds through the Cape Peninsula Feeding Scheme. And we plan on doing more in the following term to help alleviate some of the issues that are prevalent in our society, even more so at the moment. Our ever-present 67 Kids to School team are working hard. I'm sure many of you know that Nick Anima and Josh Griefson ran 67 kilometers last week for Mandela Day, and we'll hear more about their fundraising after this video. Our ongoing project with Happy Hearts Sports Academy, unfortunately we had to stop our tutoring program. However, we knew that help is still needed. So thanks to good work by Max Hall and a lot of members of our Interact society, we are working on a project to bring students of Happy Hearts data for their final exams, so that they can use online resources for work as well. And there's a new program also that's started called Lockdown Learning, which has been started by the Rotaract Group, and that is and I'm asking all SACS students, if you are on top of your academic work and you want to help out the greater community, and there's a tutoring program where you can sign up to tutor an underprivileged student or a student that needs help in the greater community with their academic work. It'll only 1 hour a week, and you'll be doing a lot of good. So if you'd like to get involved with that, please contact me. Also, that program is open to be tutored. So if you're struggling to keep up with online lessons, there is this program that if you would like to be tutored, that can be done at no cost. So if you'd like to get involved with that project, please send me an email, christopher.britsky@sacollege.org.za. Please let me know, talk to me, talk to Mr. Barnard if you can, send me a message, and it would be a great project to get involved in. Yeah, and thanks Nate.
Yeah, you heard it here first, guys, so send Chris a message if need be. But yeah, thank you very much, Chris, and it's fantastic to see that, even though we're in the midst of a global pandemic, that SACS is still able to help out with people that are less fortunate than us. Now, moving on everyone knows, you know, my man Saki, he's the head of the Spirit Committee. And obviously, you know, this year has not been what we envisioned it for Sac Spirits, but, you know, putting that aside, how have you felt the vibe has been being back at school, and what sort of approach have you taken towards this new way of life, and what could you kind of give other people to follow suit?
Yeah, you know, thanks Nate for the introduction. So obviously the matrics have been back for some time now, and I must be honest with you, my friend. It has been tough. Mentally, physically, emotionally. I'm sure you can all relate in that sense, as you're all matrics. On our return, in the first couple of weeks, you could sense from a mile away that our morale was at a low. However, after settling in with the gents, our spirits slowly started coming back to us. You know, I think in a time like this, communication is key. It's very important. Whether you talk to your favorite teacher, a friend, just somebody you trust for that matter. Everyone is dealing with their problems, and talking to somebody you trust about them is a major stress reliever and reminds us that you're never alone through a struggle. It's funny because I find myself thinking time and time again about what could have been, but I only recently realized that it's not about what could have been, but more so about what has. Most, if not all of you, may be feeling like you've been robbed or lost out on opportunities, but I urge you to think about what you've already achieved, the impact you've already made, and the position you're in right now. I mean, at the end of the day, we're extremely privileged, and the pandemic has only highlighted that. The fact that we have an online offering and can even make these kinds of videos speaks volumes. These are the things we should never take for granted. Remember, gents, you're most definitely not alone. Whatever's on your mind, no matter how small or unimportant you may think it is, you should talk to someone about it. If you feel as though you have no one to talk to, the Blue and White's DMs are wide open, gents. They're available to talk to about literally anything, and I'm sure they'd be more than happy to chat. Thanks, Nate.
Yeah, thank you, Saki. I mean, I think the way that you've kind of approached this whole new way of life is absolutely fantastic, and I would encourage, you know, everyone to approach it in that same sort of sense, with that same mindset. Now, obviously, moving on to something I think is extremely important during this time, and that is definitely sport and exercise during lockdown or during quarantine. So Duran, alongside, you know, being head of the hostel and having to manage all the boys in the boarding house, as one of our school's top sportsmen, how have you been able to stay fit, stay motivated, stay healthy, and what advice would you give other people who are looking to do the same sort of things now that, you know, especially that school's been postponed for even longer?
I'm good, thanks.
Well, first of all, thank you, Nate, for having me on this fine morning. Yeah, well, I'm not going to lie, it's definitely been tough for me, knowing sport's a big part of my life, and yeah, it's definitely been tough, especially not knowing when he'll be able to return, but yeah, it's something that we just have to deal with. But I've been following a workout program that's made to try to keep me fit and conditioned to the best of my ability to see how much I push myself. So yeah, that's definitely been how I've been keeping fit and that. And yeah, definitely some days it's been hard to keep motivated, but as I said, it's the main thing that's kept me going, as I said, is knowing that when I do return, one day when we do return, I want to be on top of my game and not lazy and unfit or whatever. So just keeping motivated, keeping fit and conditioned. Some advice I would give definitely is to keep a set routine for those boys at home and whoever is listening in. Keep a set routine that definitely eliminates the opportunity to procrastinate. So yeah, and also obviously when you're bored and don't know what to do, a workout's definitely something I would advise you to do. It's nice and fun. Even get your friends, family out to join you. So yeah, it's definitely be something to enjoy throughout the lockdown, knowing that we're going in for another week and other grades a little bit longer. Then on the other hand, being back at hostel, it's been tough, but also good at the same time. Good to have that interaction with the boys again, but keeping our distance as obviously stated, but having masks and all of that. But yeah, it's been good, but tough at the same time, as I said. And I just would like to encourage all the boys to do as much as they can and try to get out. Definitely good for your mental health and just your health in general. So thank you very much, Nate.
Yeah, thank you, Duran. It's great. Obviously, you heard it from one of our school's top sportsmen, and I think it's definitely something that people of all ages can implement. I think having a good set routine and a good workout plan each day is definitely something to keep the days ticking over and keep enjoying yourselves. Now, as I'm sure you've all noticed, we've made sure to sit 1.5 meters apart, and that is just to place emphasis on another special reminder to continue to maintaining your distance and following the necessary precautions which keep us safe. Our school has done an absolutely awesome job at ensuring that they created a safe and healthy learning environment for all of us, and it is our jobs to make sure that we're following all the protocols as it is theirs to sanitize the classrooms and make the learning environment a healthy one. And then thank you very much to everyone who's watched this video this morning. We're hoping to film a few more episodes, different venues, different personnel, just to give you some more insight on to people or to the guys that have been back. Once again, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you soon.
Let's go!
I want that.